Very good morning and a welcome to 21st of March 2020 as we continue to bring you what the situation is right where we are. And first and foremost, I will tell you that it seems as much as the government is locking down quietly, we still have more people that are still moving around. I'm telling you what the government said yesterday, but if you look around, you will still notice that we still have people that are traveling and moving from different places this Saturday morning. Yesterday, Boris Johnson advised every store and every pub and every restaurant and cinema to shut down yesterday. I will be finding out later today if some of those places are shutting down or if they are still operating. But one thing I could tell you is, from what we are looking at and what we are being told, it is getting a little bit scary. It is getting a little bit of an anxiety that is out there. Just about a few meters away from where I'm standing, right there is one of the store, and there is a number of people on the queue trying to get their grocery, trying to get into the store. I will be giving you a little bit of what I can see, and then I will then take a little bit of walk. I'm not too far away from the house, but I will take a bit of walk from now and then come back home. Thank you very much, Agzoba Moritala Oluwambe. One of the key things that the government is trying to advise everyone is to keep that social distance. And if I am quite right, if people are still walking around in a close proximity, thank you very much, Sister Adedo, you can see that we hardly sleep. It was a very beautiful show we had on Heritage TV yesterday, myself, Ayogundimu and Suzirati. But as you can see, I'm already out again this morning, trying to bring you guys up to date of the situation of things and how it is. Don't worry about the way I look. Also, I am quite prone to the virus as well, so we just have to kind of put a little bit of scarf on the face so that we can, as much as possible, I will keep as much of the distance from the people, because the question, nobody knows how many people in the country are moving around with this virus. This is the Edmonton Green Station. A lot of the stations will be closed. Buses are still moving around. But one thing is, how long all this is going to happen is what we don't know. This will have been, by this time of the morning, this will have been a very busy train station. But now, with the situation of things and the way things are running now, so many people are scared. So many people are worried, and everybody now is taking the advice of the government to stay indoor. Don't go anywhere if you don't have any reason at all. The government is also promising that there would be more than 80% of your wages to be paid for those of you working, so that you are not going to be, it's going to get my badge on, because as you know, this is a very trying time. Lagbaja is the only one that is secured at the moment in Nigeria. The Lagos state government is looking for 1,300 people. It tells you that things is getting a little bit much more I will keep stopping from location to location, and I will explain to you. If you look further down there, that used to be a gym. Very early of this morning, you will have seen a lot of people inside the gym trying to do exercise. But the government yesterday advised every one of them to shut down for the safety of the community and the safety of the people. But if you notice that there is still vast amount of vehicle moving around, and the reason for that is because at the moment and at present, the situation is the country is not on a total lockdown. Yes, Boris Johnson advised yesterday pubs, restaurants, cinema, gym should be closed as quickly as they can yesterday. But what they've not done at the moment is shutting down so that nobody is moving. And then the question is, you can see all these vehicles moving from one end to the other. Either they are visiting friends, or they are going to do shopping, or whatever they are doing. That means the virus will continue to spread from one end to the other. And that is one of the biggest worry of the citizens, that what we are witnessing at the moment and at present is the country is not on a total lockdown like Italy, like France, like Germany. The number of people that have died in Italy is quite high at the moment, and you wonder why they've not shut down completely London and every part of the city center across the country. It is a very windy morning. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to continue with this little bit of walk around, and it tells that as much as the government wants us to stay indoor, but they've not told us particularly that you must do that. Like I said, you know, you can't say that much, but right there's a number of people queuing, trying to get into the store. If you look closer, you will see the gym, sport classes, pools, and soft play. Those are one of the areas that the government want to close down, and that has now, I believe, taken effect, because on a Saturday morning, a lot of people will be going out to do those exercise, but the government is saying for now, presently, you must avoid that. People need to do shopping. That is why the road is not completely locked down. Well, I totally agree that people need to do shopping, but if the road is locked, somebody that has to do their shopping will have to do it locally rather than coming into my own borough. If I travel from here to Southeast London and I've got the virus, the tendency of spreading the virus in Southeast London is quite high. So if the government locked down the country and allow the store to operate, but you cannot take your vehicle as a far distance, you will only have to do the shopping locally. We have in every borough in this country has at least, wherever you are living, you must have 3 or 4 local stores, big or small. That means you will be able to do that shopping locally by just walking into the shop, get what you need, and get back in. But what we are saying now is transportation is still moving, so that means somebody is traveling with a virus out of this community into a different community. Somebody is taking the same virus that is killing more than enough people. At the moment, we have 177 people have died right here as well in England. We have a total number of 3,983 that have tested positive. We have 60,000 that have tested negative. So it doesn't seem at the moment that they are doing everything to bring down the number of the cases of this virus from person to person. Because if you lock down the country, that means the country would have less of people taking the virus from one side to the other. But what we see now is the country is still operating, even though it might not be in a full scale, but yes, the country is still operating. And like I said, every borough, this is one of the biggest ASDA in this part of the borough. And that means if they lock down the road, you can easily walk into that ASDA because you live locally and do your shopping and then get back home. You don't have to drive. You can see the distance that I've walked. That means I don't need a vehicle to come into this ASDA and do the shopping and go back home. But people think, it's a jamboree. People are just moving around. I'm sure not everybody going in this vehicle are going to do shopping. Some are even visiting, people that might be on a risk. So people think it's a joke until we start seeing the number rising of the death cases like we are now seeing in Italy. It's the same thing in Spain, Germany. So are you telling me now that all these vehicles going about are all going to do shopping? What kind of shopping are they doing? When the government is saying we can guarantee 80% of your wages, so you might don't have to go to work, but that means we will still pay you. But we are just human beings that find it very difficult to take advice. And you can see there, this is a chicken shop. They've shut down now, and that means they are taking the advice of the government. Human beings are very difficult people. We are very, very difficult people, and that includes myself. But in a situation like this, we should be doing everything possibly best to reduce the social distances that the government is telling us to do. You can see this shop is closed down, and I'm not sure they're going to be opening anytime soon. That's the chicken shop. So again, if you look closer down there, that is the biggest ASDA, because people are not really taking it serious, and some people are just thinking we are on a kind of Christmas break. Once again, as we follow the coronavirus on a daily basis, I'm just taking a kind of walk within my own community, and I'll be showing you, yes, as much as the restaurants should be closed, the government also said they might do takeaways. That is open at the moment. Businesses are still opening, so I'm not sure whether anyone that is not selling anything to do with food should be opening by now, but you can see that people are still open. And that's another restaurant there. That's another shop. These ones now are very okay because they are selling food that will go a long way for the people. How are you? I'm not showing you, but I'm live on Facebook. I'm Facebook, okay? Yeah, I'm not showing you, but I want to ask questions. I'm not showing you, I'm showing myself at the moment. Let me turn the camera to me. But I just want you to say, what is the situation of the business here at the moment? Are people coming to buy or people not buying? People buying. And this is, like I said, one of the local shop. These are the people that the government still want to be operating because people need to eat in this situation that we are at the moment. Thank you very much. So it's a very difficult time for people, but yet we got to understand, and that is the police station. Okay, I'm getting a call from the mayor of Brent. Let me pick the call and I'll come back because I'm not sure why he's trying to call me. That's the mayor of Brent. All right, I'll come back to that later. That is our local police station, making sure that there is law and order in this particular constituency. But as you can see, the number of people still going out is still quite high, and your guess is as good as mine when we are in a very difficult situation at the moment. But like I said, until the government shut down the whole system, we're still gonna have people moving around. Oh, it looks like the police station is closed. Really? Are you kidding me? Let me check that. That must be serious. If the police station is closed, then we are. Okay, let me see what is written on there. Are you serious? The station office is closed until further notice. Okay, sorry, I thought I turned the camera around. And that is our local police station. I didn't even know that that is closed until further notice. That is even more scary, because this is the one that is close to us. And as you can see there, and it says there on their door, the station office is closed until further notice. Very, very scary. I'm not sure why that is closed. But as you can see, most shops that are open are more of the, people are still going into the salon to have a haircut. Interesting. Once again, as we go around, thank you very much, Facecap Media. For those of you that want any kind of entertainment, broadcasting, we have a lot of the media that we work together. A shop promotion, Facecap, Heritage TV, Yanga TV, Ben Television, and we do work close with some of those stations as well back in Nigeria. It's a Saturday morning. It should be much busier than this, but people are also taking advice of the government to stay indoor, keeping that social distance. And people have been asking question, how long is this situation going to last? From what we are told, the vaccine is not coming out anytime soon, until next year. I know there's been all kind of different people saying different things regarding chloroquine. I'm not going to get involved in all that, but what I can tell you is the main vaccine to kill this coronavirus is not going to come out anytime soon, and that means you're better to just take the advice of the government and the WHO than trying to listen to all the rumors spreading and people sharing all kind of fake news. So once again, take a look at the numbers of cars that is out moving around. This is not the time, for so many people to be moving around, especially most of them are not living in this particular area and they're traveling. Maybe they've gone down to some other boroughs, pick up the virus, they bring it back here, and that is why this virus is spreading. And it will continue to be like that until this government shut down the country completely. They've shut down the restaurant, the bars, and I hope most of our own African bars and restaurants will be taking that same message by closing down rather than opening the door through the back door. And like you see, there's still more people in that Air Beauty. And it goes on and on and on. But if you close down and shut down the country, no one will be able to drive from there to Peckham, from Peckham to Old Kent Road, from Old Kent Road to Luton, because somebody coming from Manchester that has got the virus will then end up giving the virus to people in another county. And that is why it is best to shut down and deal with it and contain it. The bus stop is not as busy. I've been looking at some of the buses. They're quite empty as well. But until everything gets locked down completely, that is when we will take much more precaution. I've seen a lot of the mosques and the churches here in UK taking the advice of the government that they won't be opening their doors. The Muslim Association of Nigeria at Old Kent Road did not have the Jumat service like they would have done yesterday. And likewise also some of the churches tomorrow will not be opening as well. That is a mosque, as you can see there. And I'm going to cross around and see what the mosque is. And as you can see, the most important people that are working tirelessly are those working in the healthcare sector, doing a lot of hard work. You can see that. It's a lot of hard work they're doing. But I will tell you, in a minute. Let me cross the road. I've been looking inside the buses. They're quite empty. The numbers of people inside the bus are not more than 5 or 4. So, but I'm going to see if there's any kind of information on that door of the mosque advising their members exactly the situation that is happening in the country. This is a very difficult time for a lot of people. So many things will be disorganized, but at the end of the day, it is important. There is no information, but the door is locked, and that is just one out of so many mosques around the country. Let's see if they have any information there. Yes, they do. And it says there, coronavirus announcement, closure of the mosque on the 18th of March. Assalamu alaikum. May peace be upon you all. Dear members of community, we the trustees of the Rumi Mosque are saddened to announce that we have decided to close the mosque after Isha prayer on Wednesday, 18th March 2020 until further notice. The last congregation prayer to take place before the closure will be Isha prayer on the 18th of March. Regardless of how hard it is, we had no other option but to follow the example of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and his companion, the guidelines by contemporary trusted Muslim organizations such as the Muslim Council of Britain and many renowned scholars, and strong recommendation from the scientific and medical expert and the advice of the United Kingdom. We have a duty. I hope you are listening to this. We have a duty to protect members of our community, friends, from passing the infection from one to another by reducing the human exposure, especially for the people with compromised immune system. These are different times for everyone across the globe, and also a time to hold each other and precious as Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam intended in our creation. It is a Muslim's duty to support neighbors and friends and beyond these challenging times. And I hope some of the mosques in Nigeria are doing the same thing. That is a mosque. So what makes this mosque different from the one in Nigeria? Because the one in Nigeria is still open, not closing. And you know, I know, like we have been saying, that if people going to the mosque, praying together and then breathing the same thing, this is part of the problem that is coming to you. What makes you different from this mosque? This is a mosque saying this is a trying time and things has to be done. It has to be shut down until further notice. And then in Nigeria, they're still saying, oh, let us gather in 50s. Why do you have to gather in 50s? You must close it down completely. It's as simple as that. If you close it down, then that means the tendency of you having the virus spread cluster to cluster in a country where the healthcare system, as we all know, is not as powerful as the one here in United Kingdom. The healthcare system here is already in a stressed mode. There is an hospital yesterday that announced that they are already more than beyond what is happening. And that is a mosque saying, and they also have a library. Do you see how many mosques in Nigeria also have a library? Password Edward Public Library. So it's not just a mosque, and I can tell you there's a lot of activities that happens there. Christian come in there, Muslim come in there, non-believers come in there. I've been here so many times. But we have taken the religion on the other side of the globe more than what even people that gave us the religion are doing. And I can also confirm from the video that came out from the Love of Christ Generation Church, Reverend Mother Esther Bimbola Ajayi, that they are shutting down their doors as well right here in London, in guideline to the United Kingdom, in asking every religion organization to shut their door, and they will be transmitting to all their followers around the world using all the technology. This is also the time for those of you that are running all kind of different activities. Yesterday, the Lagos State government is also saying to you, those of you in Lagos, don't even think of sending your children to any kind of private lesson. Because as the school closed, some people are already thinking how to set up another institution and then create more panic and havoc as Lagos will become a very big problem if the situation gets out of control. We don't pray for the situation to get out of control, but at the end of the day, nobody knows. You don't know, I don't know. Italy was not what it was as of 2 months ago. Italy have now overtaken China in terms of death rate. Do you understand what that means? That the number of people that have died in Italy is more than the people that died in Wuhan, where this virus, started from. So I hope that tomorrow, and I'm going to send my team to check in a very local government tomorrow to see if the churches are going to be operating tomorrow, and we're going to do a live broadcast and be showing the whole world. Because this is not the time, to say and put sentiment, especially when lives matters. It is a very difficult time for everybody. Everybody is stressed. Everyone. The media are stressed. The delivery drivers are stressed. The stores are stressed. And what we don't need more is any religion organization in Nigeria taking advantage of the situation that it is at the moment. Shut the fucking border. Shut the fucking doors now. Because at the end of the day, if you have your congregation cluster in 50-50, that doesn't mean they are not going to get the virus. Shut the door. And I'll still continue to show you more. As you know, this is another one here. Shut. The door is shut. The Faith House, Christian Revival Center. What makes some of these different from the ones in Nigeria? That is what I don't understand. And I'm going to show you what is written on their door. Because these are the individuals and those organizations that brought the Christianity back to Nigeria, but they will take the advice, but we refuse to take a simple advice. Please note, all services will be suspended until further notice. For prayer requests, please email. Did you hear that? For prayer requests, email. And that is it there. What makes this different from the one in Nigeria? Faith House Christian Revival Center. Can you see that? It says there, please, all services will be suspended. Suspended till further notice. So it's not even just about, till next week Sunday or 3 weeks Sunday, till further notice. So what makes this different from the one in Nigeria? What makes this one different from the one in South Africa? So if these are taking guideline and advice from the government, and they are not saying, oh, let us break this, down to 50-50. Oh, you can come to my house and come and do fellowship. What kind of fellowship? When people are going to be dying. You don't need any kind of fellowship. Leave the fellowship alone. Do it online. Because people's life is at matter. People's life is at risk. And that is why they've shut down. But you don't want to shut down, and you're telling people, oh, they can still have 50-50. What do you mean they can have 50-50? And that is a church. Not too far away from each other. I've just shown you a mosque and I've shown you a church, and I'll be showing you another event center. And I'll be coming back later in the night, whether any kind of individual will be having their event tonight. And I'll broadcast from there. Because what the government is saying is shut down the fucking doors so that we can deal with the problem. And you can see that is a church. What makes them different from you? Let's continue with the showing of you what is happening. And you can see everyone taking advice as much as possible to stay indoor, and I can understand few people will still go out and try to buy few things and that. And there's another one here as well, Living Church. We have so many churches all over the place, all over the world. And that's another one again. That one is different from that, but what these ones do is they use what we call some of those community center for their own services. And that's another one again, Living Church. There's still another church in the front. I'm going to show you that. And this is what it looks like. These are places that are used for all kind of things, but you don't have this in any local government in Nigeria. We have 774 local government. They won't have something that function like this. And you can see what they make use of. One building. One building serves all the community. That is something that happens as well here, until maybe because of the situation that we are in at the moment. Just one building right over there. But that same building, big boy, Make I don't show you. I think they watch me for Facebook.
I said they do this. I catch you and they watch you for Facebook every time. So this is real. This is this guy is a very good. This man you see so Yomi Koiko Media, right? You see this Koiko Media. I watch him on Facebook every time. It's just coincidentally that I just bump into him to this afternoon.
And I didn't even know you're going around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I see. I have to revise back now.
I saw that. Yeah.
Koiko Media.
Thank you.
How is everything?
I'm here, my brother.
Thank you so much. You've been doing very well. Great work.
I appreciate it.
Keep it up.
Thank you very much.
Ignorance is not an excuse. You've been enlightening the public. Those that has ear, let them hear.
Make them hear.
This coronavirus going around now, we pray it will stop anytime soon. But beside that,
we must take precaution.
I have my own remedy that I did at home every morning. Bitter cola, garlic, apple cider, cola nuts, and those small alligator pepper. Put them inside water. Put water inside. Blend it very well. Every morning take 1 spoon.
I bet help me tell your people back home in your language. We have been friends. This guy, we have been friends for more than 15 years.
Or more than.
More than that.
You are the one who signed me when I was going to university. It was you who signed me off.
Why are you saying that now? Don't tell
you. It was you that signed me off when I was going to university. You see, I remember because your name is appear in my university this day. Let me go. God bless you. Thank you.
Let me let you go. I didn't know he was coming around. You see, when he was going to university, I was the one, that signed, as a reference for him. We're just doing what we are doing. So whether you guys appreciate or not, but one thing is, let's continue. I don't want to digress. These are things that we are asking every local government. I'm just showing you one local government at the moment. Thank you very much, Mrs. Yemisi Sanusi, a very powerful woman that have worked in the healthcare sector for more than 4 decades, if not more. She worked in Nigeria, in Abeokuta. She worked there, and she's been following what is happening, and she's crying inside because she knows that Nigeria is not prepared when this virus hits hard. You think this virus is not going to hit hard? Can you see that? Lucas House, Edmonton Community Mental Health Care Center. Do you have this in your local government? Tell me if you can tell me if you have this operating functionally with water running inside, with electricity right in there in where you are. So what is coming you don't even know. A lot of Nigerians use this event center, and like I said, I'll be coming back later in the night. I wouldn't know now, but I will definitely be coming back whether they will be operating as the government have now asked them to shut the door, or there would be, oh sorry, I've not even been reading the comment. There's been a lot of comment coming through. Sorry, bear with me. Thank you very much. Nigerians think they are closer to God than the other concerned. Thank you very much, Kenneth. Sorry, I've been missing. Akinwande, Germany, on point. I wish you all the best in Germany. My very big auntie. I have a lot of mother, auntie that are so much passionate of what we do, and tell them our people are so clueless. Thank you very much. So this Cavan banqueting suit, there's tendency that if you live in London or United Kingdom, you will have attended one birthday, wedding, and any kind of event there. And I'm expecting and I hope that their doors are shut permanently for any event. If any Nigerians have any kind of event, I will come here tonight, even if they are not Nigerians, and I will do a broadcast from here later again tonight to see that nobody is clustering into that hall and spreading virus. We don't want anybody to keep spreading the virus. Thank you very much, So what I'm still doing right now is just taking you on a walk. And it doesn't need any rocket science. We've seen the environment. Yes, it might not be up to the standard of what we want, but let's assume that we get at least, 5% of what you're saying right here in Ibadan, in Kwara, in Benue, in Nasarawa, in every part of Nigeria. Imagine having 5% of what you're watching right now in Nigeria. There would not be so much problem. People are in all these buildings. Government is now supporting everybody more than they would do for the last decade. I've never seen any government of this country saying that we will pay 80% of your wages. Stay at home. They are pleading to people to stay at home. Nigerians will not list, but God will give them year to year this. you know. So just take a look at, you know, the whole environment. Part of cleanliness is making sure that you have the environment and the structure that works. We don't have a system that is working, and that is the reason for why people are dying. I will be coming here tomorrow. If they try to open this church tomorrow, I'm going to bring them up. I'm not saying they will, but I hope they would not. And that is another one there. We have a lot of churches, just like you have them in Nigeria. There are quite a number of them as well. And that is the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Kingdom Life Chapel. I can't see anything on their own sign to say we are not going to open. You see that I saw that sign at the mosque and at the other church. The other church there is more like an English church. I should expect them to put the notice on that door to say we are not going to open. I will be joining them tomorrow and they will see me. And I hope they don't open tomorrow. Because if they do, what they are doing is, yes, we know, you know, we are prayerful, we are faithful and all that, but do that remotely, not bringing children and elderly people into the church and people get virus. So I will be here tomorrow. Tomorrow is Sunday. May God give us health to tomorrow. But you can see the difference between we Africans doing the wrong thing by not putting a proper information. I've just shown you the mosque and the other church with a clear message saying we are close to water for that notice. Well, we're going to die anyway. Doesn't make any difference. That's my face. People think I'm scared of something. Look, whatever I say it and I'll not take it back. It's as simple as that. People are dying and we are all going to die. So it's better we tell people exactly what is happening and what needs to be done. So it's not about criticizing, you know. Look, we are criticizing Boris Johnson for not even doing the right thing in the first place. So why are we not going to criticize the government on the other side? And people think because you criticize, you know, that means you don't like the government. We are only saying that the government should do the right thing to protect more lives. And that church does not have any signed thing to say that we are close to further notice. Why? What makes them different from the other church and the mosques that I've just shown you? I've just shown you a church and a mosque that had written notice, clear message, clear information to say that we are close till further notice. What makes them different from that church and that mosque? And that is the part of the problem. So is Boris Johnson going to come and knock on their door and tell them to put the notice there? Once again, I'll take you more around. And like I said, this is one community and that is another church. I'm going to cross over, just clear the road first, and I'll see if that church has the sign or not. That is the Methodist church, and I've just shown you the Redeemed Church. And let me see whether the notice is there or not. If the notice is not there, I will criticize them as well, just like I'm doing with this. So people think, you know, when we say something, you know, it's because we don't like certain, you know, certain things. No, it's because we want to say it so that we can save more lives. This is Edmonton Methodist Church, right here in London. And let's see if they've got anything written to tell all their congregation that this church would not be open or this church will be open. And I believe that is the entrance there. This is a community, you know, that is created to make sure that people, and I'll tell you, let's just get closer. I'm sure they must put something on their door, not like our own people. And that is it there. It says there, did you see that? I hope you can read it as well. I don't have to even read it out. You can read. What does it say? Church building closed for public worship. Why are we crazy? We are crazy people in that continent. Why are we the ones that hold God more than people that hold God here? What is the difference between the God here and the God in Africa? You can see, I don't have to say it. I've just shown you a church there that doesn't have any sign or information telling their members not to come to the church. We are crazy people, I'm telling you. We've got big issue with our religion. We can see there what makes it different from Methodist Church saying the church building is closed for public worship. We are living in a difficult and a worrying times for so many across the world and within our local community. We hold to the words of Jesus, who said, we remember that God in Christ is always with us throughout what we face. We remember to go on being a people of hope. We are responsible for the care of our sisters and brothers. We offer the best care to anyone. We offer the best care to one another that we can as a circuit. We have taken the difficult decision to suspend public worship within our local churches for foreseeable future. This is the only realistic option open to us. We are fucking crazy people in that continent. We are mad. This is a church. What makes this church? By putting this signboard with the one I've just shown you. And yet, these are the people that brought the religion to us in that continent. What makes Edmonton Methodist Church different from that church I've just shown you that doesn't have information? And this is their service before. Did you see? Sunday, 10:45 a.m., 6:30 p.m., Junior Church and Young People Fellowship, 10:45. But they are saying now that as much as they love Jesus Christ, sorry, I thought I was showing it. As much as they love Jesus Christ, we are living in a very difficult time, and they have to shut down this door to save lives and save the community. What is wrong with us? We have a big problem. We have massive problem, and I'm sure most churches are going to be opening like that within our community throughout this country tomorrow. That they want to pray for the people using a remote system. It's there. Why do you think Facebook is there now? You don't even have to pay for it. It's free. Just go on Facebook and tell your members to log in. If they don't have any Facebook, tell them to open a Facebook account, or they go on YouTube. And if you don't know how to do it, call Facecap, call A Shop Promotion, call Koiki Media, call Heritage, and we will come and do the transmission for you, and your members will be watching it from the house. And yet they won't even want to pay for that service. They want you to come and do free broadcast for them in their mosque and their fucking... Let me not just go beyond, because I'm getting crazy mad now. Just take a look at it. Simple. What makes this building much more precious than that other building? And that is the problem we are facing at home at the moment, and in every part of the continent, not just Nigeria. I'm not talking to Nigeria alone now. It's all Africans. Too over religion. Anything. Oh, you cannot say this because you know they are holy fathers. Bombo clad them. Simple instruction. So that when they put the instruction there, I don't have to come till further notice. That is what the message says. Stay in your house. We are living in a trying time at the moment. And I'm going to take a picture of that. Bear with me, because I need to put this on the Facebook. So I'm going to come off a few seconds while I take the picture, because I'm going to put this on my... Are we the only people on this planet? We are more problematic to this planet than even the planet itself. Oh, we are colonized, and then so what? How long have Britain left us and we have not done the right thing? This is the same Britain that brought Christianity to us, but yet they have closed their church to save mankind. But we have not put any information in that church to indicate that people should not come to the church service tomorrow. Thank you very much, my very beautiful sister Abi Otumba. A lot of you are at home, you can't go out, but we can still at least take you a little bit of walk and just watch it. Stay with us, share the page. Don't get worried. Look, sometimes people think because, oh, if I share this guy post, somebody else will see it on my timeline and they'll start asking whether you have any relationship with him. It doesn't matter. Look, it does not make any difference, because the world itself is upside down as we speak right now. It doesn't matter. You can see you are scared. I am scared. I am worried. Anxiety have kicked in me since 2 weeks ago. What you guys are just hearing now, we have been updated before. We have intel of what is coming up. We have, yes, I can tell you that categorically. We were aware of what you are witnessing now. And I was scared, because I was saying then that if this kicks in, there will be problem. People are going to be fighting in the store. People are not going to worry whether somebody is in their 60s. They go into the store and they are pushing that individual to collect the toilet roll. Are you not seeing that now? Are you not witnessing now that people don't even care whether that man is an old man? They kick him away. They want to take the fucking toilet roll. I went to Costco. People don't have passion about themselves. Atarodo Meta for £2. We were aware of this, and that's why the government was trying everything very, very diplomatic to make sure that they put it out slowly. You think they couldn't have shut down the bars and the hotel last week? They could have done that. But what did he do? Prime Minister said, oh, don't go to the club, don't go to the pub, try and distance yourself. And right there, people got the message. Thank you very much, Facecap. If you want any media right now to come to your church and you and your pastor, let your congregation stay at home, call my very brother there, Oba Olanrewaju Jimo. Don't put the risk of people by saying they should come to church and pray. Let the prayer stay indoor right now. It's as simple as that. That is a church. What makes this church different from any other church or any other mosque? What makes it different? We are all calling one Jesus Christ, right? What makes this one different? By closing their door till further notice, but yet you want to create more panic and keep the country in a much more risk. Because the more people that are close together, the more risk it's going to happen. What makes this different? And you can see, adjacent, that is the other church there. This is one here. What makes that church not to put information on their door to say that we are closed till further notice? It is not all the churches that has the notice on their doorsteps or message their members. I totally disagree with that. I would disagree with that. And do you know why I would disagree with that? I could want to come and, spend a service with them tomorrow, and I've traveled all the way from Luton and get down here, and then the message is not there. What makes this different? You see, if you're saying that, that means we are still doing things wrongly. And that's why Africa is not working. We must do things the way it works. But it doesn't cost you anything to put the paper and type it and put it on your door there. Why are we doing things differently? Yes, people will get the message. Are you saying that everybody will get the message by sending text message or WhatsApp message? Do you know that there are millions of people that still doesn't even have to know how to use text message or even read? If an elderly person come now tomorrow because she doesn't have access to a good mobile phone to read the message, she will see on the doorstep, this church is closed. She can read, she knows the church is closed, and then she goes back home, and you know what? She doesn't come back because the church said we are closed till further notice. That's it there. I've not left there. That is it. That is a church. Why do we not put, because we have not put system in place, that is why things are happening, and we are crying every day in that part of the continent. Every day people are crying because if processes are put in place, we will know. This is a local government. They know everybody. You see this building. Let me tell you what this building is all about. You see people that have children that are running away and they are in kind of distress. They've created this place for them to live. Why are we not doing things, to make life easy for ourselves? Why now? Why are we, is this not the same church, Methodist? What's different does it make to just put a small signboard? I've shown you two church, one mosque that have put signboard on their door saying to their members, we are closed till further notice. They've locked up the vehicle. Let's continue with the conversation. I want to take you as far as the North Middlesex Hospital. And the reason why I'm taking you very close to North Middlesex Hospital is because one of the cases that happened in North Middlesex Hospital where the baby that was given birth to, I'm sure a lot of you must have heard about the first baby coronavirus, was in North Middlesex Hospital. But what I'm told is the baby is now taken to what's it called? Great Ormond Hospital. I'm going to cross the road. That is another dental. This, you see, until we put the system in place, that's when things will work. We've not put the system in place. That is why nothing is working, and we are blaming God. That is another information on the door. What makes this one different from that church? Did you hear that? NHS, coronavirus. Have you been to an affected place in the last 14 days or had contact with somebody with coronavirus? And do you have any of these symptoms? Cough, fever, shortness of breath? If yes, to protect yourself and others, please go home and call NHS 111 for expert advice. Do not enter this building. Thank you very much. My very beautiful sister, Teju Oshobumi. We do things, and we are complaining that Africa is not working because we are not doing things the right way they want us to do it. We put the system in place. You know how many people living in the local government. You know how to cater for them. You know what to put inside the, that local government. I've shown you so many things, since I've been working up to this junction. In one local government. Tell me if you can see anything of that nature in one local government in Nigeria. None. And then the moment you say something, somebody else will twist it. Just like we were having a conversation yesterday, and somebody say, oh, you guys are making it scary. Is it me making it scary? When people are dying in Italy every day, am I the cause of that? We are the cause of it because we have not listened to what we've been told to do. If people listen to what we are told to do, they will save more lives and then protect everybody. Still haven't finished here because I still have to get up to the North Middlesex Hospital. Still taking you around, and we'll get closer and closer to more places. And then when I get to the North Middlesex Hospital, where will be the final of this broadcast, because the hospital are the ones working tirelessly now. Every hospital can't put things in place. Nothing is working. Simple structure, we find it difficult, to put in place. Simple structures. Once again, Koiki Media live broadcast coming straight to your door as we continue with the conversation. It's another morning. Heritage TV will be having another event of the same like last night, and we'll be connecting with Lagos and Ibadan. We'll be telling you when you want us to join whatever you are doing as well. My number remains the same. You can find it on all the social media handles. You can inbox. But for now, social distance. The government is saying go on the BBC website. Social distance will be on till next year. Turn the camera around. People don't know how bad this. Yeah, people, it's not a joke. Avoid unnecessary social contact and gathering. God is everywhere. Thank you very much. You see that? Shut down. The coffee shop. Do you think this shop should not be open by this time of the hour? They're shut. Do you see what time they normally open before? 8 o'clock in the morning. Shut down. Because people are told to stay away and keep their distances from each other so that they can save more lives. But yet we still have people, she should be at home. Those are the individuals that the government is worried about. The woman in that wheelchair. I'm taking you on a journey, and you can see that I have walked from my house, which is also like an exercise, though it's got a lot of reason why people are told to stay at home. But we must continue to report and tell you what it is until we have a total lockdown. And when we have a total lockdown, key workers that will be allowed to go out, we are included as well. Did you see that? These places are well open because they are still going to be doing takeaways from what the government said, but nobody should sit down and have any meal inside. You can do a takeaway and go. So the situation is serious. The situation is scary. We didn't create it. I didn't write the script of what is playing out around the world now. Do you think I wrote the script? Am I the government? We are not the government. We are there to report the way it is. and we report it to you, it is up to you to digest it. It is up to you to take which one is yours and take the one that is not yours. The government of each country around the world are the one doing what we are saying now. I'm not the one shutting down, airport and shutting down places and saying, look, stay at home. The government knows what you don't know. So if the government is telling you, take that social distance, do as they are told. Just do it, because the government knows the condition and the situation of how bad and how worse the problem is. Can you see that? Paracetamol, £1.99, limited stock. Did you hear that? 500 mg, limited stock. Chemist, completely empty. And you think you think this is a joke. You see that? There's another chemist there. And people think, paracetamol. I went to the store yesterday. I cannot even find one, because people are keeping it in the house. So the situation is going to get worse before it gets better. This is just one local government, one borough I've been showing you. And why is it that we cannot get things done the same way like we are seeing it now? We're just about a few meters to the North Middlesex Hospital, and then I will bring the broadcast to an end. I just want to show you how the hospital from outside, because we won't be able to do any recording from inside until we put things in place, put the measures in place, do the right thing, clean environment for the people. That is another church there, Apostolic Christian Church. Can't see any signboard there as well. Almost the same thing. Only African churches are not putting, when you don't put information out, how are people going to know? We do things differently from every other, places. We do things differently. I was telling you that Lagos State government says you don't take your children to any kind of, tutorial while this problem is going on in Lagos. This is another kind of tuition center, just like you would have it in Nigeria. The only difference might be different outlook. But let me see what is written on their door. You see? You hear what I said there? Assist tutor is temporarily closed. We are back on Monday 23rd. If you have any inquiry, please give us a call. Not sure whether that is going to happen. And if you are doing the same thing here in United Kingdom, when they've told your children to stay at home and you take them into any kind of tutorial and they pick up a virus, they come back home, they send it to you, that is your own cup of tea. That is not the government, because the government, is saying your children should stay under your roof. Your children shouldn't be running around like yo-yo, like they're on Christmas break. They are not on Christmas break. This is a serious situation. I'm going to try and show you what I'm going to do. Tell you how movement is still going on in all this situation. That is the North Circular, the A406. Until the government lock down the whole place, people will continue to spread the virus. It's as simple as that. The government doesn't want to lock down, then there will be more virus, and there's going to be more cases of people being tested positive and people are going to die. It's as simple as that. Even countries that have left it too late, you can see the consequence of it. Because they've left it too late. If they've done the right thing at the right time, then we would not have been in that situation. We're almost at the North Middlesex Hospital, so you can see that I have walked. If I time it from stopping and having conversation, that if we have the same system walking across, the continent, we would have less people, wants to leave the offshore of the continent and come and live here. And now everybody is in a big mess. You are in a big mess. I am in a big mess. And nobody is safe. Very scary time. Very, very difficult time for everybody. And everybody must do their own little bit. The most important thing is keep that social distance. Keep washing your hand. Thank you very much. Washing your hands should be, something that you should not even be told now, because it needs to sink in automatically. We're just about almost less than 3 minutes to get to the North Middlesex Hospital. And you will understand that those hospitals are worried, because if you don't understand what it is, that people might become too much for that hospital to cope. One hospital in Harrow is already saying, as at yesterday, that they are in a mess. The NHS, one of the most powerful, one of the most best in the world, is saying that they are struggling, and you're telling me that in that part of the continent we can be able to save lives. You see that? That's an ambulance coming. Do you get that? Can you call an ambulance to come and pick you at home? And that tells you that I am very close to the hospital. You see her? Walking flattered. And people say, you know, it's not serious. Putting their life, you know, at stake for myself and you. So we must do whatever the government is telling us by making sure that you keep your children indoor. Don't tell them, they don't give them any room, because they're not on holiday. This is the world, not even the country now. The world is in a big crisis. Billions wiped off stock market. Millions lose money, lose left and right. And as you can see, people are taking the advice, because on a Saturday I would have expected to see more of people walking around, but it tells you that people are also taking every precaution by staying indoor. Very soon all the buses might be told to shut down as well, and that means people would then eventually have to stay at home. And as we're going to be bringing the broadcast to an end in just about another 10-15 minutes, I've taken a walk, and I'll be taking that same walk back home later, and that's kind of another exercise. We've got to understand that whatever we are told now in your country, do as you are told. Because if you're not doing that, you are putting the life and the risk of people that are working in the healthcare more pressure. Because if they don't get you to the hospital in time and try to save your life, because you have done the wrong thing. So let us look at it and make sure that we are not just concerned about yourself, you're concerned about humanity at large. I can see the hospital from here now, and I'll show you just the front of it, and then we can bring the broadcast to an end. Do you know that the GP did the same? They sent messages to people and they had their doors shut. I live in London, Croydon to be precise. I can drive out now to show you. GP, or I'll read that, it's quite a long one. I'll read it later. Yes, people might send messages, but the most important thing is put that same message on your doorstep and let people read it as well. People expect the government to do everything for you. You should also be doing something to make sure that you listen to what the government is telling us. Because the government is saying, keep away. Yes, keep away for now. But I'm sure here in this country, yes, too much pressure on the doctor, nurses, healthcare. Is that not the reason why they're asking 65,000 of them to come back? You think it's that easy to send letter to people to say, would you love to come back after you have retired, because we are in crisis? 65,000. Can you see that? Everybody is living in that building, but everyone is staying indoor. There's a surgery as well somewhere under that building. Stressed. Everyone out of the road. There's a lot of pressure with our nurses, our doctors, consultants. It's time for us to make sure that we continue to remember them in prayers. They are facing one of the biggest challenges of mankind. And that will take a lot of hard work for them to get the result and get us a vaccine and kill this virus that is killing a lot of people. And as you can see, that is one of the working around the clock, and then I'll be bringing this broadcast to an end. Not Middlesex Hospital, a very powerful hospital, all the way from Nigeria. I can see you, Tony Dikwe, Aramide. We're expecting Olododo to come out tomorrow, 22nd of March. Make sure you follow her, check out YouTube. Let us continue to be grateful. As you are worried there, we are also worried about the continent, Africa. Let us pray for those that are doing the right thing at the right time now, saving lives. Koiki Media, bringing the world closer to your doorsteps. I appreciate each and every one of you that have joined us this broadcast this morning. Heritage TV will be coming up again later on sometime. I will tell you when. And that is it. Not Middlesex University Hospital. One of the hospitals had working tirelessly to save lives. In every part of the country right now, all the hospitals are working flattered. And that tells you that they are not just dealing with coronavirus, they have other cases that they were dealing with in the first place. And that is it there. Very big. Remember, everyone working to save life in all the world healthcare as we speak today. It's not an easy one. It's not an easy task. But we must pray for them because they are trying to do what mankind can do. And I will be bringing the broadcast to an end. And I hope you will be doing the same thing by taking the message, because it's all about taking the message to the next person. Because some people might not get the clarity of what we are saying. The clarity is stay away, the social distances. It's not something that, for next week, 2 weeks. They say for now, to further notice, just stay away. If the government, just understand, the government is saying the school that your children goes to is closed to further notice. That is serious. And on that note, I say, we pray for all the world leaders. We pray for the Creator to guide them and put the right things in place quickly. We pray for all the scientists. We pray for everybody that is doing everything to save mankind at this very critical time. It is a critical time that I've never witnessed in my own lifetime as well. And I'm sure the same thing goes to you. And on that note, I say, peace be to you. We continue to update you. This is just one out of so many live broadcasts that we'll be bringing to you. We might be doing one like I do in the evening and one in the morning, and then we'll probably join some of our brothers in the media like Heritage and other network to advise and tell you what is happening. Whatever we are putting out is based on the real fact. Please, if you see anything on our timeline that you think is wrong information, call us to notice and we will take it down, because this is not the time to put out wrong information for individuals out there, because there's a lot of anxiety and a lot of people are panicked and a lot of people are worried and people are not sure what is coming up and what will be happening. Thank you once again. My name is Olayomi Koiki, reporting for Koiki Media. We bring the world closer to your doorstep. For now, bye, and we hope to be back again soon. Thank you, everybody.